What if the world changed in a single moment? No warning, no countdown. Today, we're diving into the unthinkable. What if all nuclear power plants exploded at the same time? It begins not with a bang, but with a flicker, on screens in control rooms from France to Japan. From the United States to Russia, something goes terribly wrong. A cascade failure, a silent, digital virus, or maybe something far more sinister. It doesn't matter. Within seconds, containment protocols are breached. Safety systems, the pride of human engineering, become useless. And then, the world ignites, across the globe. 440 nuclear reactors, humanity's modern-day titans, rupture simultaneously. The first moments are a paradox of light and silence. On the horizon of every major continent, artificial suns bloom, blinding and beautiful, but the sound hasn't arrived yet. For those who see it, there's just a beat of pure, crystalline shock. A silent film of global apocalypse. Then the shockwaves hit. They don't just break windows. They pulverize cities. Concrete and steel turn to dust. The ground heaves like a stormy sea. In the immediate blast zones, millions of lives are extinguished in less than a heartbeat. For them, there is no suffering, only oblivion. But for the rest of us, the nightmare is just beginning. As the mushroom clouds claw their way into the stratosphere, a toxic cocktail of radioactive isotopes is shotgunned into the atmosphere. Cesium-137, strontium-90, iodine-131. These aren't just names from a textbook. They are invisible assassins riding the wind. Within hours, the skies begin to darken. The sun, our ancient source of life, is blotted out by a thick, greasy shroud of radioactive smoke and ash. Day turns into a perpetual, suffocating twilight. Panic erupts. The internet is gone. Power grids are fried. Every screen is dead. Communication collapses into screams and sirens. People pour into the streets, not knowing where to run. The enemy isn't an army you can see. It's the very air you breathe. The rain that falls on your skin. Black rain begins to fall. Each drop is a tiny parcel of poison, sizzling on the pavement, contaminating every river, every lake, every drop of drinking water on the planet. Governments, if they still exist, are powerless. Borders become meaningless lines on a map. There are no evacuation plans for a planetary disaster. Military bunkers, designed for a singular nuclear strike, are now tombs, their occupants sealed in a world that no longer exists outside. The initial explosions were an act of seconds. The fallout is an ordeal of centuries. Weeks turn into months. The initial chaos gives way to a grim, silent struggle. The global temperature plummets. A nuclear winter descends, choking the life from the earth. Crops fail worldwide. The intricate web of our global food supply, once a marvel of logistics, is shattered. Supermarket shelves, stripped bare in the first days, are now monuments to a forgotten age of abundance. Famine becomes the new world order. Humanity fractures. Small groups huddle together in the ruins of the old world, in underground shelters, abandoned subway tunnels, and remote caves. Survivors fight for scraps. Trust becomes the rarest commodity. The threat is no longer just the radiation, but the person standing next to you. We have built a civilization on the premise of cooperation. Now, it's a war of all against all. The planet itself is dying. Forests wither and turn gray. The oceans, once teeming with life, become acidic graveyards. The vibrant blue marble seen from space is now a mottled, sickly sphere of brown and gray, wrapped in a permanent shroud of smog. The faint lights of cities, once a testament to our collective brilliance, have all gone out. Silence reigns. Years later, a new generation is born into this twilight world. They have never seen a blue sky. They have never known a world without the constant fear of the invisible poison in the air. The stories of the before times sound like impossible fairy tales. A world with electricity, with food that came from a store, with billions of people living in towering cities of glass. It is a mythology of a species that reached for the stars and instead brought the fire of the stars down upon itself. Life, however, is stubborn in the poisoned soil. Mutated plants push their way through the cracks. Strange, resilient creatures adapt to the irradiated landscape. And humanity, though reduced to a fraction of its former glory, and yours. Not as a civilization, but as a species. A species haunted by the ghosts of its own creation, living in the shadow of its greatest mistake. This wasn't just a story about nuclear power. It's a story about choice, about control, and about what happens when humanity plays God. What do you think would happen next? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.